Holy fuck, I already finished this.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. I believe we are live. I believe you can see me and my good friends here as we prepare to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Um, so I'm
Big
gonna.
Joe?
There's Joe's back. Yep, we all
Big
see.
Joe?
We all see that. Uh, what announcements do we have? Anything super crazy since last week? We did not announce. Although I do honestly hope that everybody watches both our Monday and our Thursday stream. For people who maybe can only come to our Monday one, I did want to let you know that we have our emote up.
Sneaky T.
Sneaky T is live.
Sneaky,
So
sneaky, very, very sneaky tea.
yeah, for those of you that have subbed to this great and wonderful channel, you can what is it? I'm still learning Twitch, y'all. Colon
No colon, just type Sneaky T.
no.
If you
No,
had a
that doesn't
colon, you guys
that
fucked
doesn't
up.
work.
You got to do a colon, and it's not just
Ew.
sneaky T. You have to do inroad sneaky T. There it is. Anrin is
Ew.
If you
doing
just
it.
start typing it, should pop up for you.
Does it? You don't have to do a colon. I was told on
Why'd you...
my phone it doesn't do anything unless I do a colon. Oh yeah, all our subscribers rocking the sneaky T. And let me explain to you exactly what that sneaky T is. The sneaky T is for when people are being sneaky. You know what I'm saying? When people are trying to get
Thank you.
away with things, trying to get one over. That's what the sneaky T is. Usually that person would be T, which is why he's the sneaky T. However, he is the Thursday night stream. If you don't know the great and wonderful and super sneaky T, you got to tune in for one of these Thursdays, or watch one of the recordings afterwards because it is recorded. It's an amazing thing. Um, besides the emote, do we have any? We have maybe stuff coming down the line, but I don't know that we have anything we can really talk about yet, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I think there's stuff. Uh, Many things, I will say, many things in the work. It's one of the cool things with this channel is we have so many people working on so many different things that keeping it fresh, y'all. All right, it looks like I've talked enough that my live notification has gone out, and there's a good amount of people jumping on the stream.
Nice.
So, well, now that our good friends are here, who wants to recap what happened a whole week ago? Man, I feel like I don't know where the hell that week went. Feels like it was a long time ago. So I need a recap. Someone's got a recap for me.
Got it.
All right, the brave one. Oh, you said not it? I thought you said gut it.
Nope, I said not it.
Because that definitely, Eric, sounded as if you were volunteering.
Well, I just rolled a strength save and I got a 20, so I'm not doing it.
Okay, well that's fair. I mean that's how D&D works.
I'll do it, sir.
Thank you, Alstus.
No problem. Well, you see, our intrepid band of heroes set out to escape from the dastardly prisons of Gujar with their staunch ally, Captain Blanchett. All was going well at first. We were stocked up, supplied with weapons and armor and food. And we were told that we'd be crossing into the territory of a rival gang leader by the name of Craven, who was implied was a man-eater, or maybe I just imagined that, but we'll see what happens. So we ended up meeting this Craven, and we attempted to parlay with them against the better advice of some of us, but so we went out and we did that, and then that went to shit real fast. apparently Craven had some kind of giant monster who was working in league with her, and we ended up getting into a bit of a scuffle with that, and we lost a bunch of men. Dokai went down. I went down. Mr. Euphoria went down. We all went down at one point or another. But we managed to pull through, and we survived the day. Craven was killed, as was the monster, and we pick up there with us recovering from our wounds and then trying to regroup to make the final push towards the exit.
Yeah, and that's we're gonna pick up. We're not really gonna do a jump. We're gonna pick up pretty much right where um we left off. So as you look around, you see those of Blanchett's men that are left are they're walking around. They're trying to look over each other, make sure that those that are still breathing are okay enough to move. Make sure that those that are not breathing do not retain anything useful or valuable on their person from either side. Some of Craven's people did get away, but most of them were killed. So there are plenty of bodies strewn around, as well as the bloody mess of a pulp that was once this large creature. And several of them are looking at the cart itself, which the back of which, with this big metal cage on the back of this drawn wagon, was crushed in. If you remember, Mr. Euphoria, I believe,
Was
was
Wrecking Ball.
yeah,
Yes.
just couched inside of it. So uh, it might be a little bit harder to get in and out of. Of course, the door had already been taken off, so that makes it a little bit easier. But it definitely sustained some damage. That's not the only damage to it. That is just the most noticeable and profound. But everyone's kind of walking around, seeing what they can get. A couple people are tending to the mules. You have Murray there, who's been driving them, really attending to them, making sure the mules are good to uh, continue as well, as they're pretty freaked out. Some people around the corner, the direction you were heading, are putting out that fire that was started when Alstus set his grease on fire, so that the mules and the cart can continue through it as well.
Does the wagon look like it will travel, or is it look like it's royally fucked?
Um, Make a wisdom check for me. I'm gonna say carpentry is more of a wisdom skill, right? Like life lesson as opposed to book learning. So
I mean, some would consider it a trade, but that's fine.
it
I'll,
well,
I'll,
but
I'll do
more.
wisdom.
I would say more of a wisdom.
19.
Survival's a trade too, right? But I think it's more of a life trade than a studious one. Yeah, so you look it over too, and you kind of can. You're pretty small. You can actually get underneath and like look at some of the damage. So looking it over, it has definitely sustained some damage, and should probably get some. Fairly minor, fairly easy repairs before it continues. That metal cage surrounding the back. I mean, it's kind of fucked in the back, right? Um, and it's not quite there. So if the cart moves, you can tell it's going to wobble, it's going to shake. Probably nobody wants to sit on the two seats above it. Um, and it might be a little uncomfortable for the mules as they're pulling. However, as far as you know, you don't have terribly far to go. Um, and it's
All right,
still functioning
please.
to hold in all that shit that's in the back of that wagon, which is
I
chock
would like
full.
to use my right tool for the job ability, and I would like to use my Tinker's tools to create a set of wood carver's tools to attempt to repair the wheels and the axle in the back over there.
Yeah, you can do a tinkering check. So that's be a dex check plus proficiency.
Sir, I'm gonna scroll all the way up.
And I'm going to
All
say
right.
you can get advantage because we did already say there is a carpenter on this. The carpenter survived. He stuck close, and he helped you out.
Well, the first roll was a 15, so
Beautiful. Yeah, so Alstus is going to spend a while doing that, kind of getting under, doing some repairs, helping to lead others in some of the repairs that they're doing, just kind of reinforcing a lot of the wood that has been cracked and broken. Um, what about Euphoria and Dokai? What are you guys doing?
I'm going to medic. There's got to be some sort of medical personnel around here, right? Medic.
I'm sorry, but I as Musha comes up to you, the half elf, and he says, we don't really have anyone with medical skills. Usually, if something bad happens down here, people just die.
Of course they do.
I need
I'm
a
not-
few moments to rest.
I Musha kind of looks around. I agree. It looks like we might need to rest as a group. I will talk to Blanchett. I'll see if he's all right with us. We seem to be safe enough here.
I certainly hope so.
I just need to take a cat nap, if you will.
Oh, haha, ha, yes, ha. And he kind of walks off and goes over to Blanchett, who again he's just standing over and looking down at the body of Jackal, not Jackal, Craven. Sorry.
Eugene, come lift this cart up. Yeah, I need to get a good angle on this.
I'll do what I can. All right, I go over and I lift best I can.
Sure, roll strength check.
J-
Could be athletics.
Athletics? Nah, I think I'll go with
If you wanna.
strength. Strength. 20.
Yeah, you do. Like, even hurt as you are, you grab it and you lift it just up enough, taking the weight off so that Alstus can get in
There
there
we go. There
with
we
his
go.
tools.
Hurry up.
All right, I got it. Just had to get the weight off. Yeah, all right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, so you guys can you spend a while here. You probably spend about 2.5, 3 hours here, between doing repairs, that kind of thing, and resting up. So you guys can feel free to take a short rest. You can
All right.
use whatever hit die you have. Which I don't believe anyone's. We haven't done a lot of short rests for you guys, so I don't know that
Done
you've used
any.
really. Yeah.
Any.
So you got all the hit die. You got stuff
God,
to use.
beautiful.
Nice.
Can we use more than one?
You can use as many hit die as you want.
Okay.
You regain hit die at a long rest. Half of your total hit die rounded down, because you guys are level 3 right now. So
Okay.
you regain 1 at a long rest. But you can use however many you want.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, while we take a little rest here for a second, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use another one. I'm gonna use one more. All right. so, I'd like to take a moment and take out my tools, and I'd like to examine the Craven's needle, as I do know that it shocked me quite severely. So I would like to use my tools, and I'd like to cast a detect magic in ritual, if I may.
Sure, yeah. So definitely you have time to do that. So you spend the 10 minutes, sit there, cast detect magic, and the needle itself is not magical. Roll an investigation check for me really quick.
Yes, sir. Investigation. 16.
16, sure. So you actually finding that, and you're like, huh, well, this definitely did some shit. You follow the string back into over to Craven, and find it, and there's actually a mechanism as you pull back her sleeve that she have, and it's strapped to her forearm. rather bloodied at this point, just as she was pulverized almost as badly
Oh,
as her
what
creature.
have we here? Oh,
Yeah,
here. Oh,
and this definitely has almost a combination of mechanical and um, and arcane traits to it.
well, that is my speciality,
Uh,
and I would like to take it.
yeah, you definitely can. Um, so looking at it, you're not 100% sure really how it works, and actually, uh, it's interesting because um, the whole unit doesn't seem to be magical, but you can sense a strong, like, powerful glow of runes that are carved into it.
All right, I
Um,
would like to take that piece, and I would like to take another 10 minutes in my tools, and I'd like to cast Identify in Ritual, if I may, sir.
sure, yeah. Um, so I haven't been coming up with like nice, pretty cards
That's
to give you because
that's all right. Just wing it.
I'm
That's okay. I
I'm
don't
not.
mind.
Well, I know what it does. I'm not next to you to give you a card. So, I
I'll when you talk, and I'll just type it into a little document over here, and then
yeah.
I'll
So the needle itself is pretty much just a dart, right? A 1d4 dart. But as it goes in, um, and looking at it, it's not smooth as you would expect. It's a bit jagged, actually. Almost like, an arrow might go in and not be able to pull out quite as easily. So it's meant to stick in, and once it's stuck into a target, so once, if you hit, it will be stuck
right.
in. Um, it takes a DC 13 strength save, or strength check, sorry, to pull it out. But if it is in, then your next turn and any subsequent turns, uh, you can. What does it do? It was doing. I want to say 2D. Was it a 6 or an 8, man?
I think I don't know. I think I took like 9.
Yeah, I think it was 2D8 lightning damage. Alstus kind of froze for me. Is he frozen for you guys too?
Yeah.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
that or he's in deep thought.
I'm gonna keep talking then. It does 2d8
There he is.
lightning damage on any subsequent turn. You can do the target does a dex save, taking half damage on a save.
No, thank you, sir.
If you want to write that all down, I haven't
I got it. Yep.
quite.
What was the DC deck save? Sorry, 13 again.
13.
Yes, sir. I
Well,
got
no,
it.
that's the okay. Yeah. DC. I'm sorry. It's a DC. Yeah, just use 13 for both. It's a DC 13 strength to get it out. DC 13 dex to do half damage.
Save for half. Okay.
Yeah, yep, save for
Great.
half. It just
Gotcha.
makes it use the same DC. It makes it a million times easier.
Yes, sir. All right. I'll just try to kind of put it on my arm the way I saw it was on her arm if I can. Just try to attach it to myself.
Yeah, and part of that is the quote unquote attunement process, right? So it is an attuned item, but in this context, it's more like making sure it's strapped on correctly. Am I going to be able to like activate it? That kind of thing. So it's a bit of mechanical attunement.
Great.
Okay.
Well, I'd pull these two aside, and I would tell them, if I could, what I discovered about the flesh golem.
This is troubling. And I see you made good use of her things as well.
That's quite a piece of machinery. I'm surprised. If she made this, she was quite a talented inventor.
Do you think she made it?
She's quite skilled with it, so if she didn't make it, she must have, I don't know, she must have taken it from somebody else a long time ago, or was made for her by someone else. But
You should practice using it.
I mean, I could do that, I suppose.
Well,
I don't think anyone is going to volunteer to take a dart to the chest.
I could try.
I don't think that's. I just brought you back for the second time.
I turn and look at him.
All right. Anyway, what I meant to tell you all. So what I meant to tell you all was that uh, whatever this thing was, uh, it was created either by Craven or some other one, and it was animated through the capture or binding of an elemental being or spirit of some kind, not from this plane of existence. It was trapped within uh, the flesh of whatever was. I mean, whatever poor souls were sewn together to make it. But once we killed it, I believe it was released.
This
All
is
right.
troubling news. What do we do about this, Cosmo?
We leave. This is not our problem.
It may become our problem.
How would it become our problem if we leave?
Well, this flesh golem may not be the only one.
So why do we gotta take care of it? We're working on leaving here.
I meant we may encounter more things like this.
Then if we encounter them, we'll fight them.
Weren't you looking for some kind of elemental being? Okay.
Yes, which is why this is very curious to me.
I mean, it's not what you described, but it's not it's definitely aggressive. Definitely.
They're certainly similar in some ways.
I wonder.
My understanding is that this being that I've been looking for may be something similar.
Well, we'll have to keep our eyes open, but I guess now we should push through to the cliff's edge.
Well, we are going to be on the water.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how we're gonna get down, but we'll figure something out.
We have rope.
We do. We do have that. We do have that.
I can climb. Can you climb, Cosmo?
This is gonna be extremely painful.
So I would assume you cannot climb then.
It's maybe in my younger years, but not so much now.
Weren't you a militant type in your past?
Of course, one of the best, but age catches up to all of us eventually, and gravity is not my best friend.
Fair enough.
Well, you could always just jump, but
I mean, cats always land on your feet, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yes, I'm sure if I jumped, I would be just fine.
What if you held me and jumped? Would you still land on your feet?
I would use you to break my fall, of course.
Nah.
gnomes are impervious to fall damage. It's true. We're like ants. You just flick. We're not dense enough. We don't take it. We bounce. All right. Well, let's stop shooting the shit. Let's go.
Yeah, so a few hours later, repairs made. I mean, roughly, right? Like the wagon uh, with the car, it doesn't look pretty and pristine anymore. But they're not going for that. They're going functional. They're not even going for long-term functional. It just has to get to where they're going.
Gum and duct tape.
Yep. And supposedly is pretty close. As you all kind of get back together, um, down to now, the three of you, Blanchett, his right hand Musha, your four found friends, Maya, Murray, Acid Face, and Basil, uh, and then 12 other crewmen.
Character.
12, you say?
12 others, yeah.
Michael, Judas, Peter.
And as as they all kind of get ready together, Blanchett and Musha now walking on one side of the wagon themselves, not sitting on top anymore, as it's a bit more unstable. Um, People are way more on edge. You notice both before and behind the cart, both after what happened, being attacked by a rather sizable gang as it was, but also now there's less numbers. Still, a large gang compared to most of the kind of rabble you see walking around, rather um, uh, unorganized. And then you continue to go. Murray being very gentle with the mules, not taking them too fast, and no one in too much of a rush. Really, everyone on edge, feeling rested up, and really just not wanting to be ambushed by any other giant flesh golems. Um, where are you guys situating yourselves this time in terms of this kind of moving caravan?
I'd like to go up top if I could this time.
On top of
Top side.
okay, so on top of the cage.
Forget it. The wagon. Wherever that seat was, where Musha and Blanchett
Sure.
were last time.
Yeah. It's not so you're jostling back and forth as the cage is kind of like itself teetering just a little bit. Not enough to really toss you off, but you definitely have to hold on so you don't fall whenever it.
I think I like to tie the rope around my waist and then tie both ends to like kind of be bungee to the top of the wagon.
Sure. Yeah, and that definitely holds you in. You can put your hands up now, kind of enjoy the ride.
That's it. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Uh, Euphoria, where are you gonna go?
Rear guard.
Sure.
I
You're
will be
back
in the
there
front.
with Maya, who is in the rear but still staying rather close to the wagon. And okay, Dokai is taking his position up again with kind of those forward scouts.
At the
Uh,
point.
the couple people, and one of the scouts was killed, so now someone else has taken up that position. There's a couple that kind of go out ahead, check around any corners before the rest of you come, and Dokai, you're back at the spot you were, where you're kind of relaying that information back to the group. Um, now that he's on the ground, Blanchett is kind of moving among people, moving around, keeping an eye on people, trying to generally like keep their morale up. Right, he is their leader. He is their strong voice um, as they're going. Although moving, I think now, besides the occasional word or two and the creaking of the cart, is more or less quiet after losing uh, so many people and almost, could have turned the other way and lost the whole crew. People are not too keen to chatter. Oh, we got a bingo. Thank you, Dark Ryu.
Well, I believe that Musha told us that we'd be getting to the cliffside by nightfall or by today. So
Yeah, indeed. Dokai, why don't you give me a perception check since you're up at the front?
uh,
Sure.
I mean,
Alstus, just as a heads up, you are cutting in and out a bit. I just wanna. It literally just
It's a
sounded like you were
7.
going. So, but
A
I know you're
7.
trying to say 7. Okay. Yeah, you don't see any danger.
It's an excellent roll with my +5.
Yeah. Ooh, that nat too. It's beautiful. All right. You're attacked by 10. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you continue on, slow paced, slow going, but nothing really disrupts what you're doing. Nothing attacks you, and you move on for the next couple hours that way. Um, and eventually, uh, the caverns get a bit lower. The ceilings get a bit lower. At a certain point, Alstus is kind of ducking a little, like, oh, like I don't want to get my head smacked over here, even small as he is. And one of the scouts looks around a corner and hurriedly turns back to you, Dokai. And your first instinct is, like, danger. There's something there. And then he
Yeah.
says, I think we found it.
Found what?
I think it's the sky. And he just turns and runs down that corridor.
I'll relay the message.
Sure.
There's apparently a sky this way.
At first, people really start to, like, move towards it, right? Like people that have been out to sea too long, when they finally see land. Blanchett actually kind of like puts his hands up to hold them back and just continues to walk forward, even more cautiously than they were. He gestures for Murray to slow down the cart a bit. And as you go, there's a sharp, sharp angle uh, leading down this corridor. As you turn and you look, and sure enough, there is what appears to be sunlight coming from around the corner. You can see the rays as they're hitting, but this tunnel does curve a bit, and it seems that that scout has turned down it and has disappeared from sight.
Well, let's go.
Never thought I'd see the light again.
I'm gonna kind of go up ahead.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You kind of trot ahead a little bit as the cart right now has stayed back where it was, and you kind of go and turn, moving down, and you turn the corner and look out, and sure enough, from this angle, there's a little bit of ways to go, and you see this opening to the outside, and the opening is only about yay big. You can tell. Yeah, the area around it has been like banged in and carved out with all sorts of different things. There's rock and rubble, and what was left is this circle, probably less than a couple feet around, that looks out to what seems to be the sky of a setting sun. And you see that scout, the gentleman who has not seen any sky for so long, and he is just unabashedly crying as he just stares out at it and then looks back at you, just not even knowing how to react, and then turns back and keeps looking out at the sky.
I'm gonna walk up to him and just give him a light pat on the back.
And he just kind of, still looking out, nods. Give me a perception check, Dokai, as you're looking out at this.
24.
Damn.
Wow. Okay. Great. That's beautiful. So, yeah, you notice a couple things. So it is getting towards nighttime. So definitely, Blanchett's promise that you would arrive at your destination before nightfall, even though you could not see the night. If the scout found the middling altar, I was going to be pissed. That's funny. So that promise has definitely been fulfilled. You are high up on the cliffs to the south of Gujar. The cliffs here face the sea. There are definitely some rocks and things that would make it rather difficult for most ships to maneuver around. But you do notice it is fairly clear down below as you're looking down from this ship. You would say assuming there was, a ship that could make it to this area, that you would have to drop at least 100 feet to get to its deck, at least.
Okay.
And uh, it is precarious, and it's almost like a little inlet. So you can actually see the cliffs, these big, sheer, imposing things that surround the south and west of Gujar, um, continuing either way. Um, and yeah, this seems to be your destination, yes, of course, but also probably not quite what Blanchett was hoping it would be. As he walks out, looks it over, and says, "Well, it looks as if we have some digging to do."
Well, not necessarily. I have a rope. And Alstus also has a rope. Eugene, do you have a rope?
I assume so.
I could climb down,
Yes, I
I
do.
think.
Well, our good gnomish friend told us he'd figure out a nice quick way for us to get down. We don't want to be one at a time, all of us climbing down. That would take far, far, far too long. Not to mention, I need to get my cart through, so. Um, bring the digging tools. We need to widen it, maybe even the ceiling a bit, make sure the cart can get through, and make sure we can get it done.
This is going to take us some time.
I think I can get us through or get the supplies through without taking the cart through, sir.
Oh, no, 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 no. I would like to get the cart as well.
But how would we get the cart down off the cliffs?
Don't worry that. No, 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 no. You just worry yourself about getting the personnel down after the cart.
Can I make an inside check as to what he's hiding
Yeah.
from me right now? This doesn't make any sense.
100%, man.
I don't know what this man is thinking.
Mhm.
And I still don't because I rolled threes.
Sure. Blanchett he's just this like showboaty dude, right? And it's like he's always performing, never really lets it down, and he just kind of has this like blasé air about him as he's talking about this, and really hard as it is to kind of figure out what.
I'm just doing the Larry David squint at him the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's bring the digging tools. Yeah, yes, get around. Yes. Yeah, you can untether the mules if you want. That's fine. Yes, yeah, that's fine. And some people like are sitting there like just all right, that's what he said to do. So they go over and they are starting to kind of like look around, like oh maybe this part of the ceiling needs to be knocked down a bit and widened out, and then oh yeah, well obviously around the end. So they come over and some people start going at it pretty much. They kind of like push back those people that are eager, right, for that first glimpse of sunshine that they've had in who knows how long. And start whacking at it, and you quickly hear the sounds of what is mining, really. Although they do have a couple old rusty pickaxes, a lot of what they're using is not actually mining equipment, right? They're using kind of whatever weaponry, any other stuff that they've found to try their best to make it work for this use.
I'm gonna pull Eugene aside and Dokaf is nearby and whisper to him while this is going on. I don't know what he wants with that cart.
I think that,
I think he's insane.
well, that's definitely true, but I think that he's more concerned about the supplies than the people.
But I told him I can get the supplies out. I don't. What use would a wagon have in the middle of the ocean?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. We should be careful of him.
Well, is there something in the cart we don't know about?
That is very possible. Did anybody actually look at it?
Did I notice anything after being smashed into the cart? Maybe it felt weird when I hit it.
Uh, I mean, you guys got a decent look at it last session. Um, close to the close to like the doorway, right where you were smashed in, is kind of actually where they stashed the weapons and stuff for like easy access in case they needed, to switch out weapons to battle or whatever. All the food and stuff was like kind of put further in, and it's rather chock full in there.
All right, we
Maybe,
don't have much time.
maybe he has some coin inside this cart or something.
We could push him.
That's irrelevant. There's no. Even if he believes that I could get us all down the cliff safely, there's no way he could possibly believe that I could invent a device that would take the cart down the cliff. And if he does not believe that, then the cart must be useful for something to him before it gets down. If we don't know what that thing is, we are at disadvantage here.
Maybe we could keep him from the cart. Force him to keep his distance.
We need information mostly. We need to figure out what it is he's planning.
Or we could try to survey him until he actually does go to the cart.
We have to be careful because these are not our men. They're Blanchett's men.
Not all of
Yes.
them.
Yes,
Not all
but
of them.
many of them have respect for us, it seems.
I think right now the only people we can trust, and if we can, is Murray, Maya, Basil, and
I believe
Tito.
I believe he prefers Basil, actually.
Basil and Asterface are two different people, sir. You can't just typecast.
What is that man's name? Acid Face.
I don't know. He just took on that.
I think his name is Harvey. I think his name is Harvey.
Harvey. I've not heard this name.
I think that Musha keeps a record of everything that is in that cart.
I mean, I doubt that that's where the names of everybody is. I'm not sure.
I'm not looking. God damn it, Eugene! I'm not looking for names. I'm looking for a manifest.
Oh, I get.
This is
I'm just saying. Is it? What reason could he have to want that wagon up cliffside?
We should steal Mush's belongings.
Or just figure out what's in that manifest.
How would we figure it out without looking at it?
Well, we could look. I'm saying we could look at it, but we don't have to. I mean, don't necessarily have to steal it. We could just get a peek at it.
A peek may not be enough time.
I don't. I'm. Listen. I don't
So
know if it
here's.
is.
So I've got an idea. You,
I can't wait for
Catman.
this.
you, Catman, are sneaky. You're quiet. What I can do
Yes.
is I can create a grand distraction
Yes, I'm sure
because
you are good at that.
Blanchett loves showmanship. So if I do my own sort of showmanship, I will have the attention of just about everyone around here. While you can go find your manifest and find out what Acid Face's real name is.
I can get everyone wine drunk. That'll help.
Yes, drunken antics.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready. Yes.
All right, great. I take
well,
my
let's wait until after dinner at least. Jeez.
I take my maul and I walk over to the hole in the wall
Sure.
and I go, "This is taking too long. This is how you break a hole." And I just start and I sort of present myself like this to the captain, and I just start smashing at the wall as hard as I possibly can.
Roll a
Trying to
couple
break through.
attacks for me.
Just
Because I know you just
attacks?
wait. Yeah, roll a couple attacks. You're just wailing
Okay.
at this thing.
That's a 20.
That it is.
That's a 14.
All right, man. Yeah, you are like beating, and everyone else kind of like steps back as you take this maul and just crash.
Crash. So like ha 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 as I do it.
Yep. Laughing, and as you do, you do take out quite a bit of this, right? And it like crumbles, some of it like slate from the top. After a while, you're still like have a smile on your face, but you're breathing heavy a bit, and you've done more than other people half-heartedly trying to break it through.
Well, Eugene, that was incredible. How about a nice drink of wine? Wine for everyone. We got out, boys. We did it. And I'm going to hold up and start passing around the jug of alchemy with wine in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a
I'm gonna-
persuasion check just to see how.
I'm gonna drink it too. So if
Same.
that helps with the
Yeah, make it at advantage.
Well,
That's
that would
four.
help, I suppose, because my persuasion, I'm not a great salesman, and it is a 19 with proof of advantage.
Better than a 5.
Well,
All right.
I better than 5.
Yeah. People are like, yeah, we made it out. And they do. At that, Musha is like, oh, we might as well get food now then. And he sends Maya into the wagon, and he like points it. No, not that. Yes, that one. You're not gonna be able to get the whole thing out. Just take some food out, pass it down along, and we'll distribute it to people. As she kind of is like smushed between these big piles of crates, these stacks, and she starts like grabbing food and pulling it down. You do notice, as before, like you kind of saw what was stored there, a lot of rations, a lot of that kind of stuff. But Mush is, kind of directing her to get the good stuff, so everyone can kind of eat, pretty well. Nothing really that has to be cooked. Most of it's already been cooked, or is like some of the more fresh fruits and vegetables that were there. Yeah, but it starts to be pulled around, and people are drinking and kind of putting down their equipment as they're trying to brush off their hands a little bit from all the dirt and soot and everything that has fallen around.
I propose a toast to the good Captain Blanchett.
I'm gonna.
Aha! Yes.
I'm gonna definitely start looking
As he's
for
doing this.
Musha's belongings, where Musha would keep the notes or a manifest or something like that.
Sure. So he has notes that he keeps on his person, like a messenger bag type thing.
Okay.
Around him. He doesn't really have many. He doesn't have any belongings really that aren't.
Is it like a
him.
is it like a shoulder bag or more like a?
Yeah, like a shoulder, like one of those straps that goes over the shoulder,
like a fanny pack.
I thought he had like a ledger. Didn't he have like a book?
So he doesn't have anything bound. He uses loose sheets of paper, and he writes on them with charcoal, and he keeps them in this bag to really try to be meticulous, so that like that charcoal isn't just rubbed off of things, right? Like he keeps good notes. So that's what he has. He has this kind of like one strap messenger bag around his shoulder that
has a lot of anime pins on it.
A lot of anime pins on it. Yeah.
So I would, knowing that, then I would definitely start to move towards him.
Sure. Yeah, and you're not alone, because right now he's kind of the one leading like what's going to be eaten and making sure the food's getting passed out. So you kind of are blending in with the crowd as you move towards him.
Is he like engaged in conversation or something?
He is. Yeah, he's like leaning in and like trying to direct Maya. No. That crate over there. Yes, go for that. Yes.
All right. Do I have to like unstrap the bag, or is it like an open bag that I can just kind of?
Yeah, no, it has like a little clasp on it, but it's not very well. See, it's like the one clasp in the front. It's a canvas kind of bag.
It's like Fonzie. You can do it.
If you want the whole bag, that might be tough because it's around. If you want to go into the bag, that would be considerably
I'll definitely try
easier.
and go into the bag.
He led us out of darkness. He saved us all from an eternity in the caves of Gujar. We owe him our lives and our freedom.
Ah, yes.
Good Captain I'm like watching Dokai as I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach for it and try to.
What are you trying to get?
So I'm gonna try and grab pretty much. Well, I'm gonna try and get a good look in there as I'm doing it, but try and grab pretty much everything that I can.
Give me a sleight of hand, man.
Oh baby.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn son. Almighty Blanchett, he is the greatest captain.
I say in Infernal to fools, but I say it's to friends.
Saw that TV show once.
Yeah.
What's a TV?
All right, so you reach into. You just made an anime joke, and you're gonna be what's TV? Get out of here.
This
Um,
anime, this anime in Dungeons and Dragons, I've seen it.
All right, so you go in and you get. I mean, there's definitely. It looks going in there as if, and with that roll, because I'm gonna give you advantage on it, because you get a 19 and a 21, and I'm gonna give you the advantage because Alstus is making a distraction for you, so that's gonna bring you over a 20.
Yeah.
And you notice a few different things. You notice, I mean, loose charcoal kind of in there towards the bottom. There's a lot of that parchment, a lot of papers, and you also notice something at the bottom that seems to be metallic.
It just looks different than everything else.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it'd be like, me throwing something electronic in with a bunch of paper. Like it's
He's
obvious.
got a gun.
Definitely going to
Get
grab
down!
that. Definitely going to grab that. Yeah.
So you grab that item. Do you grab anything else?
If I notice any of the papers have anything relevant that I can see, just quickly kind of leafing through, I would try to grab a couple of them. But
Yeah,
if
make
not,
a quick perception check. And this is all in like split time as you're inside his bag, right? To kind of see what you can see on those papers. A 10. Okay. They seem to be a lot of numbers. And pretty much they all have, they might have the name of some items and then numbers next to them. And then like some calculations going. And at quick glance, that's kind of what you can tell. So I think you take like a stack of them just so you can look more closely at them later.
yeah, no, I definitely would grab the papers.
Okay.
Without being loud.
Sure. Yeah, I mean with a 21 sleight of hand, you're quite silent.
And I would sneak off.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. And off you go as the food continues to be passed out, and people like patting Blanchett on the back as he's like, "Yes, yes, me, yes, 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 it was me. You're welcome. You're welcome too."
And I'll walk around my wine and pouring out some wine for everyone.
A little bit for those that aren't with us
Keep the party
anymore.
going.
I'm smiling and patting people on the back, insulting them horribly and infernal, but smiling while doing it. So it's like, yes, yes, haha, you are very dumb. I dislike you very much. I can't wait until we get out of here.
I'm gonna attempt to
Yes,
go
roll to
back
see if they know
around.
infernal.
Well, go back around the corner, kind of like where we came from.
Okay.
Back into like that other corridor.
Sure. And it gets dark over here too, so unless you bring a light source with you.
No.
Okay.
I have dark vision.
All right, that's not going to help you see charcoal on parchment.
True.
But just as a
But I want to once I get over there, I do want to inspect if I can in what little light I have the metal piece that I took out.
Yeah, sure. So it is a metal key that you see. It's old, bronzish kind of looking material with like a harsh kind of patina on it that has turned most of it green. It also seems that on the back it's tied around with a string, like it could be worn as a necklace or something, and that string has been broken. Roll an intelligence check for me, quick.
Not my best stat.
People.
Hey.
Oh, that's not bad though.
That was good.
I gotta say, you do have chats saying that was a good sneaky team moment, and they appreciate you for it.
Yes, thank you, Sender History 06.
Let's not kill the meme now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not kill the meme.
I mean, come on. If there was ever a time you're gonna use it, that was literally sneaking. So with 19, you remember while after the battle, with all the craziness, Blanchett had gone over and pulled something from around Craven's neck. So you're not sure if this is it, but if it is, then it seems he gave it to Musha.
Okay. I would put this in my pack, and I would go back along
Sure.
with the papers as well.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you rejoin everyone else as they're having uh, their dinner, after having their drinks, enjoying themselves, congratulating each other, taking turns, just kind of going and looking out as at the encroaching darkness from outside as the sun has pretty much set at this point.
I would try to find a wine or something to drink as well.
Yep, absolutely. Consider it
I'll top them off.
drunk. Wonderful.
Alstus.
Yeah, what is it? Did you find it then?
There was a key.
A key?
Yes, a key. I don't know where it goes, but I saw Blanchett take something from Craven. This could have been what he took.
Where does it go to? That's the question.
It could be somewhere inside the cart.
Why would Craven have the key to something inside Blanchett's cart?
Maybe Blanchett stole something from Craven.
She didn't seem to like him very much. That was one hell of a monologue she gave about.
Yes, it was. I grabbed some papers as well. I'm not sure
What did they say? I'll take a look at them.
I didn't get a chance to really inspect them.
I'll take out my a little eyeglass and I'll use my tinkering to create light from it,
Sure.
just so
There
I
you
can
go.
read the papers if they're in a language I can understand.
It's pretty much, yeah, it's common and math. So roll an investigation check as you're looking at it to try to figure out what exactly is going on here.
18.
Okay. So looking it over, it definitely seems like, and looking paper after paper after paper, and again working on not smudging it because it is all just kind of rough charcoal. It seems to be a meticulously kept uh, list of supplies. The number of them, which changes regularly, and then there's another number next to that, right, that also changes, you can tell, as time goes by. And even the pages are numbered meticulously, so you know what the most recent one is. And it takes you a little while of looking to kind of figure out, and there's like, some math at the end and then another number at the end, and looking at it and watching and seeing the multipliers. It seems that Musha was calculating the weight, the almost exact weight of the cart and the exact weight of everything, on the cart, all collaboratively together.
And was it calculating the weight of the people?
No.
I see.
Yeah, no. Very no talk of people at all. It's if he's wasn't concerned with them, but everything you see, it's supplies to weaponry, and he would cross something off. You can even see, like, towards the end, the more recent papers, where you took the weapons when you set out on this, right? And he had just like crossed it off and done a quick calculation, and then
I have one more question, DM, and I would like to ask, what was Musha's target weight?
See, you're asking me to, in my mind, calculate what the weight of all this shit would be.
Well, it doesn't matter. I assume we had some purpose for
Yeah.
for calculating it.
So I'll put it this way: he had a target range, and the cart is within it. And he's made some notes towards the more recent pieces of paper of like what could still be taken out of the cart to maintain the needed weight.
So there's no manifest of what's in the card itself. That's not on these papers.
It is. Oh yeah. I mean, it'll be like apples.
But it's not. It's nothing that would raise any suspicion of mine. Like the actual manifest itself is nothing that would raise my
Like
suspicions.
what's in there? No, it actually, surprisingly, looking around, it doesn't seem to be anything that wasn't in that supply room back in, Blanchett's kind of hideaway.
All right, I'll
Mhm.
tell. I'm gonna tell Delkai here. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, he's calculating the weight of everything, and it seems that he wants to take the whole thing.
Arithmetic is not my specialty, but if you say so.
The question, I guess, is why? Because if you assume that they're trying to take the stores onto the ship, that's one thing. But why take the wagon itself on the ship? That don't make no sense. What the hell you need a wagon for on a ship?
This wagon, he wanted it very badly.
He did,
We nearly died to get this wagon.
unless there is no ship.
I had that thought, but I did not want to allow it to ruin my mood, of course.
And why be so worried about the mules anyway?
I think he's planning to escape by himself, or take Musha with him.
He needed us to get, or he needed to get something from Craven. Probably that key. But if the key has not unlocked anything yet, then it has to unlock something yet ahead. And I do not think that thing is on the ocean or on his own ship.
Why does he want you to dig down?
Well, I think he wanted us to dig out of the hole, but
But
what I'm
where?
positing is that
Where would we go if there was no boat?
I don't know. But I think that if we assume that everything Blanchett has told us is a lie, we can only go on the evidence.
I think we need to keep a very close eye on him tonight.
I agree.
We can't let him out of our sight.
We need to let the trusted or the people who are in our circle know. Mine and Mara definitely. Obviously Eugene, but I think that's all for now.
All right. Can we trust this Maya?
I do not know, but I don't know. She seemed to.
Eugene seems to like her, so
We still don't know why it was she was pretending to cry that whole time down,
yes.
or why she wanted. Why she. Maybe no one then. I don't know. Maybe just Eugene and Mari.
We definitely need at least 4 sets of eyes on Blanchett. And Musha.
One thing we know about him is that everyone is expendable, including us. So if he's going to make a break for it, he might do it tonight.
That's true. We should also do something with those papers. Make it look like they fell out of his pack or something.
I don't suppose you could get him back in while sleeping, do you?
Well, I could, but that's dangerous. I was thinking more leave them
not there.
sprawled somewhere back where we came from. They may have just slipped out.
Hmm.
When he realizes that key is missing, he will suspect us, I think.
He might. I feel like the answer is sitting there somewhere, but I can't seem to see it.
Well, would it be too conspicuous for us to just look in and at the cart? A bit closer, of course.
if we wait until everyone's asleep, maybe that's a good idea. But I don't know. If the key unlocks something inside the car itself, that would be useful. But I don't. As far as I can tell, everything on this manifest is mundane. Not that they would list it if it wasn't, but a man like Musha, even if he wasn't concerned about being secretive in his manifest, he would be concerned about the weight of something.
Was there
So if there was
any,
something, sorry, what?
was there any sort of organization to how he wrote everything down?
Uh, I'm not DM. Was there any sort of organization?
Yeah, I mean it was grouped together. Like the food was grouped together, the fruits and the vegetable, like very meticulously. So,
Did the weight of something not match the what it would be under its label? Was
oh,
there was a discrepancy between something marked as an item that was perhaps the weight was different than what you'd expect it to be?
looking it over, really checking all of that. Uh, Mush is a show his work kind of guy, and it's all really laid out there, right? He estimates the weight of an apple, he counts the number of apples, he does the multiplication, he has that, and then adds it down at a chart all the way down. And it all seems to be quite accurate and line up.
So all I'm saying, though, Kai, is that if that key unlocks something on the cart, then I don't know what it would be. Assuming that,
I think something is possibly hidden inside that card.
but if they needed a key from Craven to unlock it, it wouldn't be something they already had.
Maybe the card is Craven's.
A cart was the one of the guards, though.
I understand that. But Craven chose to stay down here. She could have left at any time. And Maya seems to be, well, not who she says.
You know, they did say that that monster punched a hole in the cliff. Maybe he punched it for a reason. If Craven had control over it, she could have commanded it to punch a hole where she wanted it punched.
That's true as well. Craven could have had any sort of communication with the prison guards or anyone else in Gujar, really.
I think we need to investigate topside tonight.
I can climb.
I'm a rope.
We need to confer with Eugene.
I agree. Let's go back.
Yeah, and as you do, you notice a couple things. While Blanchett definitely has let men, his men, and again, I keep saying men, I shouldn't default to men, his people, because they're not all men, um, uh, sit, eat, drink a bit. Now that that's already kind of happened, um, he has sent them kind of right back to work. And you hear the banging as they continue to try to open that hole a bit wider, made easier by Mr. Euphoria kind of breaking down some of that wall and getting some, doing some damage to it.
Sure, I'm sure that fresh air is helpful too.
Yeah, I mean, people are absolutely just like loving it, and it's comfortable. It's not a cool, this time of year in Gujar is it's warm, it's comfortable, even at nighttime, not bad at all. So as that's happening, there's also some people working on the cart again, kind of towards the front end of the cart, doing some carpentry stuff with that. And that's kind of what you see as you come around.
I'm gonna go up to Eugene. Dokai recovered some kind of key from Musha.
I do declare that seems to be quite an interesting finding, my friend.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it's planning, but whatever it is, it might go down tonight.
A bit of a ruckus, I see. It's going to be an interesting evening.
All I know is that he wanted something from Craven. It was not an accident that we went through her territory. And if these men and these weapons are anything, it was a means of defeating Craven and her men. Once that task has been accomplished, we are no longer useful.
I do agree that whole encounter seemed to be a bit coincidental, and I do not believe in coincidences myself.
The problem is that they're going to be looking for this key. As soon as Musha realizes it's missing, where everyone turns out their packs, we're going to be caught.
Well, there is always the option in case of an emergency that there's a big hole in the wall leading to the ocean. Last time I checked, metal does sink relatively well.
What are you suggesting, sir?
You're breaking my balls here. All right, if we feel like you're gonna get caught, throw the key through the hole in the wall and leave. It's gone. Nobody's getting the key forever.
Why don't we just escape? Why don't we just get out of here with it?
I mean, we could do that, but if you're worried about getting caught with the key, remove the key. What's the key even for? What is this? What are you going to open? A rock?
I do not know what the key is for.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you have a key that if you get caught with it, we're probably all going to get turned inside out. That does not open anything that we know of right now.
But we do know that the key is the most valuable thing down here.
How do you
all
know
those
that?
men that died back there died for that key. Men and women. That is what Blanchett wanted from Craven.
All right.
Let me tell Eugene. Let me tell you something. Whatever it was Craven had access to, and I'll reveal the machine on my arm basically. If it made this, and if she was able to use this or that to make that thing down there, it's a source of incredible power.
All right. So, how about instead of putting it in your pocket, put it in your boot. Walk on top of it. Nobody would think that.
Well, I mean, we could do that, but I think
That's a much better hiding spot.
The problem is not if it's hidden. The problem is if it's going to come to blows and if we're going to be forced to fight here.
Well, that puts us at an advantageous position. Because circling back to what I said before, if we find ourselves in a predicament in which it seems like we are going to come to blows over this key, we could always threaten it being thrown from out the hole. Sort of you attack us, this is gone. You may kill us, but your precious key, gone forever. I think that may put us in a more even position.
And as you guys are talking, you notice Blanchett coming towards your direction. And he walks over and says, "Well, my good gnomish friend, I do indeed hope you've been thinking about how to get all of our fine people down those cliffs and onto the deck of a ship."
Yes, sir. I'm going to go up topside right now and start building it.
Topside?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to go through that hole and I'm going to start building our means of escape.
What do you mean you're going to go through the hole? I don't understand.
The hole that my friend Eugene made.
Yes.
And we need to get out of it and down the cliff, correct?
Down the cliff. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start building that contraption.
Okay, and that will happen very quickly. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I want to be quite clear. I believe we may need to be leaving as soon as tomorrow morning.
And how many will be leaving, sir?
every one of us. Not the mules. We aren't going to be bringing them. Uh, although, perhaps we should have butchered them for the meat. But uh, I'm sure they'll wander around and get eaten by someone else. But yes. So let me see who is left. We have, the 12 crew, uh, plus the 4 you brought, the 3 of you, myself, and my good half-elven friend Musha. Yes, we certainly need to get all of us down.
And the wagon?
Don't worry about the wagon.
All right. What about the supplies on the wagon?
I have that covered. Don't you worry at all. Trust me, it will be wonderful. You're going to love it. I have that covered. You just make sure that we will very, very quickly be able to descend, or ideally all of us together, to the deck of a ship.
Okay, well, sir, to do that, I was planning on using scrap metal from the wagon to create a kind of ladder using the rope. So if the wagon is scrap, I can do that. If the wagon is not scrap, I cannot do that. The status of the wagon is relevant to my designs.
Ooh. Were you hoping for scrap metal? About how much would you need?
Not enough to drive into the stone at regular intervals. Not much of it, but enough to build some kind of reliable ladder with multiple points of anchor. I do
a
not.
ladder?
A rope. A secured rope.
And we would
think of it like a rope bridge, but it's
hold on and just descend on it? How many of us could descend at a time on something like that?
Well, I mean, if you assume 2 rungs, one for feet and one for arm strength, I mean, it depends on if it's 100 foot. I could do the equations right now, sir, but I don't know. I don't know what the time would be. I mean, I can get us down there real fast, but it wouldn't be that many of us.
Can you think of a way by the morning to get all of us down there very, very fast with minimal damage?
Just the people.
Just the people. I can get you some scrap metal from the cart. That is quite possible. It might be some of the more malleable weapon metal, if that's fine. But that can
I
easily
need
be
man
taken out.
to work on that to do it. There's a long job.
We have muscle. We can do that.
And they go without sleep to do it.
Not ideal, but
Every hour they spend tonight will save you a second tomorrow.
then every hour a second. I mean, I assume that's not literal, but we'll go with that. Yeah, Alstus, this is direly important. This must happen. We will ideally be able to descend. Now, I am okay if we descend in waves, as long as those waves can, one after the other, quickly land. You have to remember, we don't know what's going to be happening in these tunnels behind us, but also, up above, on the tops of these cliffs, that's where all the guards are stationed. If we start to descend and they see us, I don't want arrows raining down at us while we're climbing down a rope, one rung at a time. I want all of these people here to reach that ship in good health.
All right, I will work my darndest, but I will need men, and I will need metal, and I will need hammers of some kind.
See Musha for the metal. He'll know what's best to give you for that. And the men you may have, yes, tell them they won't be able to sleep. That's fine. You gave them wine. They will probably listen to you. But if you need me to instruct them, I can do that as well. Yes, it must be done. It just must.
It will be done, sir. Don't you worry about it. I got it. Old Alcis has it handled.
Wonderful. Good. I mean, you have your friends here to help you as well.
Yes, I do. And they're stalwart allies in this.
Good. Yes. See Musha for the metal, and anything else you may need.
I will do.
All right, and then he kind of like goes around and really is pointing out things. Goes over to the people kind of working on the front of uh, the the wagon, just kind of checking in on what they're doing and everything else.
All right. All right,
Are we
boys.
getting played? Are we getting played, Alstus? I'm getting the distinct impression that we're getting played.
I don't know. He seems pretty confident. He has some kind of plan to get that wagon down.
I would have definitely walked over at this point.
I can keep these men working all night on some cockamamie contraption to get us all down, but I do not know if it's going to work, and I do not know if I want it to work, personally.
I think this contraption, it's just a distraction for us.
It may be, yeah.
Keep
That's
us,
why I need you two. If I'm supervising this team, I need you two to keep an eye on Blanchett.
keep us working. Then is that what you said?
Well, not you two. I'll keep everybody else working if I can.
It would be suspect if we weren't, though.
Well, then I'll assign you some job that would require you to go back and forth, maybe carrying metal or scrap wood.
Yes.
That way you keep an eye on the others, Musha and Blanchett.
Where did he say he was going, by the way?
Down? I don't know.
I meant tonight.
He seemed to think that we all needed to get down that cliff face very quickly.
So did he volunteer himself to assist?
No.
No, of course not. He'll be doing something else tonight. It would seem.
So,
What do you think? You think I should volunteer myself to be his bodyguard since he claimed himself that there is a high risk of being assailed in the night?
I think that's too obvious.
Well, it's not a bad idea. It may be a bit obvious.
How about this? I just keep requisitioning you two with work orders for scrap wood and metal. We'll use his cover as our cover, and that'll permit you and shifts to trying to keep an eye on him.
We can't get too close, Eugene.
Want his hat.
He will suspect us regardless if we get too close. Blanchett is definitely not a fool.
There's some con here, and I want in. That's all I know.
Maybe you could just ask him then.
I'm highly considering it.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I said considering.
That was an attempt at humor, of course.
Cat humor.
I mean, we could consider for the moment the fact that he's being honest with us, and he really does have some plan to get us all out of here.
I don't think so.
Dokai was absolutely... Joe was absolutely looking at my face trying to read it as he made that determination. He's like real life insight checking the DM.
Well, then it's going to be a long night, boys. I would like to roll an intelligence check to see if I can see the concept of an elevator.
An elevator?
I would like to intentionally make sure that Blanchett gets no sleep, so he's at disadvantage for all of his skill checks tomorrow.
Alstus, roll a...
But think of it as a one-way type elevator.
Sure, yeah. You just kind of flip a switch and let it drop.
Think of it like a tower terror.
Tower terror.
Yeah, okay.
So
So,
let's roll two. God damn.
Yep.
What am I rolling here, sir?
you said intelligence check, man.
I was throwing some out
Yeah,
there.
I like that.
3.
Holy fuck. Whew. Oh.
Who's...
Okay.
Ooh.
You're like...
Ooh.
Now, I know
No,
they
it's
use something in mine sometimes to drop things down and make it come back up, but this one won't have to come back up. So yes, you can definitely, I think, do that. However, I would say it's rather improbable that you will be able to make one to fit like 20 people.
all right. Can I make it seem like I am?
Yeah, I mean, you can make one and make it so that it can kind of like hold as many as possible.
I will progress upon that point if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, so when you go over to Musha and kind of let him know what it is, you're working on, how much you're going to need, he said, "Oh, well," looks around, looks at Murray over by the side, petting the mules that have now been unhitched from the cart. He says, "Yes, yes, I can give you that much."
Thank you, sir, very much. I'll put it to good use. I promise.
And he does. He um takes a bunch of stuff out, kind of has a few things rearranged by some of the people around. And it's full night now, right? But there are torches lit, so there's enough light to work by. Some people have gone to kind of lay down and rest for a bit. And after it's given to you, uh, um, Musha looks at one of the other guards, and a few of them go over. Uh, and though it greatly upsets Murray, they start to kill and chop apart the mules, and then start adding the weight of the mules into the cart.
Not very tactful, boys. It's better ways to do things, but okay.
So basically, how I'm conceiving of this elevator is that I would create some sort of counterweight pulley type system where, as we descend, we can control the amount of counterweight being impressed on to counterbalance our own weight.
Yeah.
And thus control the rate of the descent. And if I can, I'd like to set fashion, per Captain Blanchett's request, some kind of roof that would prevent us from projectiles coming down from above.
Yeah, and I think as you start, because Blanchett is walking around making sure everything's good, and he starts to look tired too, right? Like you can see it in his face. And as you're starting to put like an idea of, oh, we're gonna put a roof, he'll actually say, don't worry about a roof. If we're going down quickly enough, I wouldn't be terribly worried about that. They probably won't have time to notice us anyway.
Yes, sir.
If
That
need
sounds
be, I mean, we could always, grab shields and hold them over our heads. That sort of. I'm not too worried about a roof. I'd rather have, just be able to get all of us down as quickly as possible.
So how tall is the deck of the ship?
Oh, it's a rather sizable ship. So about, I don't know, guys. How big
20,
is this
20
ship?
feet?
Very
20 feet, 25 feet, 30
Yep.
feet?
Yep.
So my job
400 feet.
is to my terminus point. It will be roughly 10 feet above the deck of the ship.
Sure. Yeah.
So I need an elevator that will travel 60 to 70 feet one way.
That's it.
It's a gnome's dream. God, I love it.
Why don't you roll another tinkering check? At advantage, you have a lot of people helping you.
21, first roll. Don't even need it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm on fire now, boys.
Woo!
Let's go.
It takes
Careful,
you.
Alstus.
I mean, it takes
Pride
you the
come
whole.
before the fall.
It takes you the whole night, and a lot of people don't get sleep. Right? Some do. Some manage to sleep through the night and get it kind of enough. And towards the dawn, while you're just doing the last little bits to tinker with it, I mean, throughout the night, some people are they've kind of widened out this cavern, and they've done quite a bit of work in a short amount of time to be able to make something that it looks like this cart will go through. And where is the elevator? It's kind of right towards the end.
My idea, yeah, is that it would be sitting right towards the end, and there would be a great amount of counterweight, whether that be through sand or gravel that's been dug up or excavated throughout the
plenty
mine.
of stone, gravel.
And
Absolutely.
as we go, basically the job would be to accelerate the elevator by cutting off the counterweight, thus accelerating us down. And then as we travel, attempting to slow our descent by the same means, by basically it's going to be a real precarious skill challenge of some sort.
Oh, I love
And
this.
if we fail, we're going to go splat right on the deck of the ship, assuming that doesn't exist.
This
But-
is
Not something to be done with exhaustion. Just saying.
absolutely my favorite session we've had with this group so far. by far. You guys are trying to figure out what the fuck the NPCs are doing.
That's
You
great.
made an elevator,
Just
and you're all gonna have a level of exhaustion, and are not gonna get the benefits of a full rest, including the regaining of hit points. It's perfect.
oh, yeah, it's and no spell slots either, Matthew.
And
That's
no
perfect.
spell slots either. Yes.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Roll a
do
D8
it.
for me, Alstus.
Let's do it.
So this is first thing. There's a couple other things.
Let's go. One.
Whoa. Okay. So only one of Blanchett's men has a level of exhaustion. The
Damn,
rest were
that's the line.
yeah. The rest were able to go and cobble together enough sleep that they do not have a level of exhaustion. There's only one.
Let's go, boys.
which-
Great job.
Might be good. Might be bad.
Do it.
Dokai and Euphoria, what are you guys doing this evening? What are you working on while this is going on?
I would be more pretending to work than
Sure.
actually working.
And what are you actually doing? Like, did you want to? You mentioned some things. Did you want to do anything with the papers? Did you want to do anything with the key? Did you want to do anything with Blanchett?
Well, Alstus has the key.
And
But-
well, I would be as this is going on. I'd be trying to requisition them with they'd make supply runs to keep an eye on what's going on. Like I would be sending them each out in tandem so that when one's kind of organize it that there's always eyes on Blanchett and Musha if I can.
Oh.
I would at some point probably place the papers kind of over by the cart somewhere. Just kind of like inconspicuously.
Okay. Just the papers, though.
Yeah.
Sure. Roll a sleight of hand.
Well, I didn't take any like charcoal or anything, so. Sleight of hand.
Yeah, this is just trying to
Are they pulling an all-nighter too, though? Or they all staying up?
No. No,
16.
Blanchett and Musha both are trying to get a night's sleep.
16.
Yeah, you kind of drop them over by the cart, make it look like they might have fallen out, that sort of thing. Okay. Euphoria. Anyone else? Anything else you want to do this evening before we jump to the morning?
No, I like the plan. The plan is the plan so far. So
I can only do something as a result of a long rest. So if I'm not taking one, then I don't have anything to do.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that morning, then, I need all of you to take a level of exhaustion.
all right. Is there a way to do that in this?
I
Just take the lower number when I roll anything, boy.
I
Okay,
just rolled dice on
fantastic.
this thing.
See that number? See that number? The lower number. That's what we take.
Other resource, you could just do that.
Yeah, all it is disadvantage on skill checks. So, and attack rolls.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well,
Not
well.
saves. Not saves. Skill checks and
That's-
attack. I
oh,
believe.
Oh, good. Not saves.
Hashtag D&D. Okay.
We haven't had a level of exhaustion in quite some time, so.
But I'm always excited when you do. Okay, so
Doing Gadrin's memory proud by
Yeah.
being a gnome with exhaustion. All right.
yes,
Yep.
yes. We had a lot of Nomi exhaustionness in one of our story arcs. Okay. So
Here we go.
the next morning.
Disadvantage on an ability check, so attack rolls would be assumed as part of that. Yeah.
That's how they all died.
Okay, so the next morning, everyone kind of wakes up. Those that were, you guys are kind of laid down for 20 minutes of shut eye, but not really
It's like
restful
worse
at
than
all.
not sleeping at all. It's like worse
Yeah.
than pulling all nighter because
Yeah,
you just got like 20
Oh
minutes.
no! Don't even say that. Oh my god!
like you're dying.
Feels like you're full of. It
having
feels
to
like you're.
wake up after that little 20-minute nap is not good.
It feels like you're full of cobwebs. I hate it.
Um, so you all get up. Uh, Blanchett comes over and is like, "Oh, this is very good. What if we can we is there a way we could put this out of the hole and then over to the side a little bit?" And then, like, just for a minute, just and then I can swing back down when we're ready to use it. But that way, the hole is kind of just open.
This would be something to have mentioned last night, sir.
Well, well, it's not on rails. We could just push it to the side and stick it there with something, right?
Sure, that should be over. If we can, yeah, we can drive some kind of pylon in there and prevent it from swinging back.
Yeah, that'll be quick enough. I'm not sure exactly what time to expect this ship. They do have to maneuver quite a bit through quite a bit here before they're below us and us.
Well, could we like see them as they're approaching, or is that not?
Yes, I simply don't see them yet, and certainly the sun is coming up, and there's nothing to be seen. You do hear. No, you wouldn't hear anything. Never mind.
Nah.
Well,
Okay.
No.
GG, I guess, Joe.
Don't worry about it.
Just to remind you, it would have been. This is supposed to be the day of like the big festival in Gujar, but you're really so far away from the city itself, you would not hear. I was gonna do. You hear the sounds of a festival. You're too fucking far away to hear that shit.
When we get back, I'm gonna fucking kill that half owl. I swear to God.
I'm gonna rent him out.
Oh jeez. And there we go.
So yeah, that's done. The thing's kind of pushed over on a pylon. You're like, yeah, it'll probably swing back, and it might pendulum a little bit, but then we all jump on, and it'll be fine.
Listen, we've all been Tower Terror. We all know that feeling.
Yeah, you
It's
have
fine.
Eddie Murphy.
You have a good counterweight there because you're like, I don't know if 20 of us are gonna fit on this thing, but if we're toppled on each other, hey, there's a good counterweight.
I think that was the Haunted Mansion scroll, sir.
That was the what?
Eugene's getting his scrolls mixed up again.
Okay. And after a little while, you do see a ship coming from the east, comes around pretty far out to sea, and it turns, and it kind of meanders a little bit, slowly making its way towards the coast.
Black sails.
No, just white sails.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of plain white sails. And as it's coming, the ship it's rather large. A rather large long ship. And it puts its sails down as it gets closer. And you can tell the rowers are bringing it in closer towards you. And Blanchett says, This is it. Yes, wonderful. Escape! Escape, my friends! Just mere steps away. Wonderful. Yes. All right. Well, good. Yes.
This is goddamn mine.
And he's just like so excited. So they're coming in. They'll take a few more minutes to get in. Make sure everything is good. Make sure everything is correct. Oh, wow. They're rowing quite well there. They must have some strong fellows here. Okay. Well, here is the last bit of the plan, everyone. So
now?
we know exactly what is going to happen. Yes. Yes, now. Please. I, as you know, am your fearless, faithful leader, Captain Blanchett, and I, before I was placed in these prisons here, was captain of that ship right there. And with the help of all of you, my faithful crew, I will be captain of that ship again. Ha ha! Yes. It does seem, however, that in my absence, some other members of the crew seem to have taken it over. However, we have an item that has made them have to come here and get us. They think that we will descend down and myself and good Musha here will be made their servants. No, that is not what will happen, because we come armed. Our wonderful gnomish friend will descend down, and we will use our strength to take back that ship in one fell swoop. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. And you hear Musha. The key! It's gone! It's gone! And he's throwing papers, and papers are just going everywhere. He says, I saw some papers here. The key, did it fall? How did it? It's gone. And Blanchett's face blanches.
Ha! There it is.
There it is. And he says, my friends, we must. Does anyone have a key? Did anyone find a key? It is absolutely necessary. Quickly. Oh, God, they're getting closer.
Wow, what does this key do, sir? What do we need the key for?
It is what? It is our ticket out. It's the key to our freedom. We need it.
I take out a key ring of the keys from the Emporium. Just go, this key, this one.
And he gives you a shove back. And he says, check the ground. Please, hurry, quickly, check the ground. It must be around here. We don't have time to waste. What do you guys do?
You want us to kill the people on that ship?
I want you to find the key. This is all no good without it.
Once we find this key, if it is to be found, you want us to kill the people on the ship?
Not if we don't have to kill all of them. I mean, they can join us. That's how pirating works.
What does this key unlock, sir? What does it go to? Maybe I can make a replica or something.
No, there's no replica for it. We must find it. And Mush is looking around saying, I've carried that key on so much of my life, but my whole life I've had it. How do I drop it just now? What?
While they're doing this, I'm going to go to the elevator.
Sure.
I'm going to beckon over my two friends here.
Okay, and as you do, he said, Blanchett actually yells over to you, Alstus, how close are they? How close?
I'll take a look, sir. They're coming in, it looks like.
All right.
Pretty close.
Keep looking for the key, but you four, behind the cart, quickly. And they get behind the cart, and he yells, now, push! And they start to push the cart, which has been lined up on the other end of the tunnel, and they start pushing little by little. And you notice what they were doing to the cart was making it so that the axles in the front don't turn, right? So they stay straight. And as they push and keep pushing, and other people go back and push, and he says, yes, push harder, faster, go, yes, across, off, as they push and they get to the end as they're going at a bit of a trot, and as the cart crashes directly onto the ship. You hear screams, yells at the bottom, and Blanchett says, everyone, onto the mechanism now! We must go down! Woo! And at that point, we are going to pick that shit up next week.
Wow.
Are you okay, Matt? Are you okay?
It's warm in this room, and I got heated. I got brand new bike shorts for going on my bicycle. And
Can we see them? Can we see them, Matt?
Well, they're being laundered, but
that's not what I expected.
I have this great little suntan going on. It's a perfect line. It's amazing what like spandex pants, what perfect line they can make. Woo!
Good stuff, boys.
That was good shit, guys.
What will happen next week?
What will happen?
Tune in.
Tune in
Well,
Thursday.
we just dropped like a ton or 2 tons of metal and wood onto a ship that's like 150 feet straight down.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Tune
sure
in
that shit's
Thursday
fine.
as well to watch Group 2.
They are on that. I really hope Group 2 is on the ship. It landed directly on to Tony.
Yeah, so
Tony, roll your deck save.
that had absolutely everything that a D&D session should have right there. Is that what you expected? Was him to push the?
I mean, I didn't really see any other option than that. I mean,
Push it right off. All right, guys.
Tony's lying.
What is
Tony's lying in chat.
20. Don't be sneaky there, T.
Tony's lying. It's a 2.
Well, we have some connection theories going on, and it's possible.
Everyone was excited about inventing the elevator.
You invented, a very quick elevator, and one of the first things we get to do next session, my friends, is figure out how it works, which is very
Look, I have a clear mental image about how it works.
It's going to be a very quick session next time.
and dead.
If it goes by raw, how many feet down was it?
About 100.
Okay, so if you're going by rules as written, that would be like 10d6 bludgeoning damage.
But you're assuming free fall, not controlled descent.
That's only like 30 damage. That's not too bad when you're level 4, guys. You are leveling up to level 4 for next
let's
session.
roll right now.
Yeah, roll for hit points, but remember you did not get a full rest.
My god.
Oh, a 10 on the D10.
Again, baby. That's like the
1.
That's like the
re-roll.
time.
You can re-roll a 1.
Oh, we're doing that now?
A 1, yeah, a 1 you can re-roll.
Oh, good. I get to roll mine too.
Oh, 2 1! Oh, come on, y'all.
The re-roll.
Whoa, the re-roll is an 8.
Oh my god.
I get to roll that one too.
No. No.
Wow.
Another 1. Yeah, I mean, come on.
No, please. What am I, some kind of casual?
Just take it.
What no. Fuck you guys.
That's right, Mike.
I'm fucking. I don't.
This is the
Just
Mike.
I'll take it, damn it.
Take the deuce.
I'll take my
I'll take
40. I'll take my 42 HP at level 4. Thank you.
Yeah, you could fall down 100 feet and probably survive a little.
I mean,
if you were at full health, which you're probably not.
I'm at 26, so no.
Wait a minute. Joe rolled D8, not 1D8. I'm ratting him out.
Sneaky T. Sneaky T.
Wait, hold on. I rolled D8 the first time too, though.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, I'd be dead.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't. If it's 1, if you
don't have to roll it. Okay, I gotcha.
No, that is correct.
So, there's a mysterious messages around if anyone wants to try to solve those, just in case, you know.
Oh, are we supposed to be doing something with those weird things?
I don't know. I mean, it might unlock something else. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I am not good at that. Joe, I think you are our puzzle guy. Yes.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Just give me like 10. Just give me like 10 minutes.
So one of the best professors I ever had, who does a really lot of cool shit. He makes like alternative reality games. Like citywide. He's done like multiple they're crazy awesome. And he does a lot of like online like let's use different forums to help figure out all these weird math puzzles and things like that. And we definitely need that because if I had to figure this shit out myself, there is no way I know what these numbers mean. Joe, on the other hand, likes puzzles. All right.
I'm doing an augmented reality type thing where the game starts before you even get in the game. So.
Yeah, no, I'm in it.
Guys, you know.
I'm losing before I've started. That's what I feel like. So thanks everyone for watching. Give us a follow if you're new to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. It lets you know when we're on, what's going on with us. You can follow us on the Twitter and the Facebooks and the Instagrammies and all that good stuff. We are doing this twice a week, pretty religiously, Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're gonna have some other stuff coming down the pipeline that we're working on. I guess there have been hints. I honestly thought your account got hacked and you're just sending random like blurbs and shit.
And maybe it did. I don't know. I don't know who's doing that.
But I guess we got to work on things. All right.
At 100 subs, there will be a 24/7 Tony cam that will be going up in his house.
A GoPro, except that it's like instead of facing out, it's facing Tony.
Yes,
It's
it'll be
just-
24/7
Yeah,
at 100 subs.
100. We're almost there. All right. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on Thursday. Hopefully you can come, watch, chat, all that good stuff. And have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.